proprietary mechanism is not only do we have a maximum supply that cannot be changed, we've introduced something called the fire pit. Now, the fire pit, you can think of this as a general kind of burn address where it's common practice. You know, tokens are burnt, coins are burnt, takes it out of supply. But the one thing that our fire pit does different is it auto-compounds itself. So you can think of the fire pit as, I suppose, the biggest coin holder, the biggest whale that holds supply that cannot and will not ever sell. And the fire pit, the bigger that it grows, then the bigger that this deflation will happen, okay? And the more, again, demand, less supply, the more that coin will be worth. So what our aim is that we want to kickstart this fire pit. And again, the fire pit is total supply. Okay, it's not just circulating supply, it's the whole total supply that'll take around about 3 to 4 years to literally rebase to that total supply. But we want to kickstart this fire pit at least, and what we promise is at least 51% as a minimum requirement. Minimum. Now, our projections can be going a lot higher than that, up to about 90-odd-6% to start off with, but 51% is what we're guaranteeing. So that means on supply, if 51% out of the 100% is already taken out of supply, doesn't that actually mean that instead of it being an inflationary coin, that it's actually automatically deflationary? So as again, deflationary, as long as we can bootstrap that 51% from the get-go, and then through volume generation, the more volume that our chain produces, so again, the more dApps, the more smart contracts, the more our ecosystem grows and thrives, all that volume that we're collecting, we're actually giving back to coin holders through that flex type of APY. Now, a portion, a percentage, 5% of all that volume gets eaten up in that fire pit. Now, that's every second, 5%, 5%, 5%. So 5% gets added to the fire pit. So if it starts at 51%, and depending on the amount of volume, you know, that fire pit could go to 52, 53, 54, very, very quickly. So once that gets to 90%, 98, 99, it can never get to 100, but it can get to 99.99. Once that gets to that stage, there's going to be so less of supply available that it can only mean one thing, that the coin value has to go up. It has to. That's just how it works. So the fire pit is how we solve inflation. Yes, we're inflating the coin to give you back rewards, but at the same time, we're burning the total majority of all those tokens out there. Not in your wallet, we're not burning in your wallet, but we're burning from the transactions produced on the chain. So our aim is to try to get this fire pit as big and as gruntly as we can get it from day one. And we will solve inflation and prove out this rebasing mechanism to work 110%. Okay? So we'll go to the next slide. We just talked about the fire pit. Again, it offsets inflation and creates deflation, and hopefully we go into hyperdeflation. And hyperdeflation is when you go over 90%. So it depends from day one where we can start off that fire pit, because it will depend on the amount of sacrifices that come in, which we'll speak about. But at least 51% we'll start off with.